Yeah, so I guess just to give you my background, I'm the Executive Vice President and General Manager here with the Everett Aqua Sox. This is my 13th season in working in minor league baseball.
Okay.
So I've worked with 4 different teams, the Nashville Sounds, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, which is in California, and the Fresno Grizzlies. So I've worked my way up in various roles, everything from concessions to selling tickets to overseeing merchandise and operations, and now been here in Everett. This is my 5th year running the team here in Everett and overseeing our staff and all the operations.
Nice. Well, I'm sorry, let's start again from your name and
Okay.
your position.
Sure. My name's Tom Backemeyer. I'm the Executive Vice President and General Manager with the Everett Aqua Sox.
Great, thank you. So among all these teams, you said you've been with 4 teams, right? So
Correct.
far. What is the special things about Aqua Sox?
You know what? I think the Aqua Sox are it's a unique organization. You know, a few things. The name itself is different. The frog is kind of our trademark. So there's not very many frog logos, frog mascots in minor league baseball. So we kind of have a yeah, it's great. It's a great logo. It's very popular. And then the second thing is just the league, the Northwest League. It's a great league. A lot of good spots to go on the road as far as the other visiting towns. And it's a very high quality of baseball too. The players that are coming to play here are either coming out of the draft or you know, some out of college, some out of high school, and it's a very competitive league, and it's just a fun environment. The Northwest League has been around for a long time, and it's a good league to work in and for the players to play in.
Nice. I've heard that rumor that Northwest has the most player which go up to MLB. Is that true?
You know, I couldn't confirm that, but I can tell you that if you look at the Seattle Mariners roster today, there's numerous guys that have played for the Aqua Sox. Felix Hernandez played for the Aqua Sox in 2003. We've got Tom Wilhelmsen, played for the Aqua Sox, Yorvis Medina, Nick Franklin, and those are all guys that have played with the Aqua Sox within the last 4 to 5 years. So, you know, within 4 to 5 years, they've made it from Everett, which is short season baseball, up to the major leagues. So there's a lot that I can't tell you that it's the most, but a lot of players do make it from here. So it's been a lot of fun.
I bet that's a very high ratio.
Yeah.
What do you think the ratio is?
You know, I don't know if I can't give you an exact answer on that, other than to say that, like I said at the beginning, it's a very competitive league and it's a good baseball. And so I always tell people, even though this is, you know, short season A-ball, the players that are here are still at the very, you know, top percentage of baseball players in the world. So they're very talented, they're very good. They're just here to become more consistent. And as I mentioned, with all the players that are now on the Mariners roster, I think as a player here, I would imagine that it gives them a lot of hope and a lot of promise to see that, you know, just there's players that were here 2 or 3 or 4 years ago that are now playing in the major leagues. So I think as a player here, you can look at that and say, hey, you know, I have a chance. I could make it to the major leagues someday. So it's you know, it's a good quality of baseball.
Definitely good for them, for their confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big confidence builder to see that, you know, one example is Nick Franklin. He just got called up by the Mariners about a month ago. He played for us in 2009, and you know, he's already had a great start with the Mariners, and it's just fun to see you know, guys that were here that are having success at other minor league levels, and then ultimately fulfilling their dream of getting to the major leagues.
Oh, you friend with them?
No, not to that level. You know, I try to I let the players and the coaches do their thing. My job is to oversee the sales and marketing side of things, and the ballpark operations, the concessions, and the merchandise. But as far as on the field, you know, and what they're trying to do and developing their skills, that's all handled by the coaching staff. So you know, I know them. They know who I am, and you know, if they need something, we're there to help them. But for the most part, we try to stay separate in the fact that they report to their coaches, and we're just here to provide a venue for them to play in, and hopefully provide a lot of fans to watch them. So.
Right. So your job is most importantly to get the fans,
Yeah.
buy the ticket, run the business. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Sure, exactly. So you hit it on the head. My main job is to sell tickets and to sell sponsorships, and so ticket holders being in the stands and sponsors helping support the team are really what make our organization. So We've got 11 full-time year-round people on staff, and 9 out of the 11 sell either tickets or sponsorships. So we're really a sales organization with our main goal of going out and finding new customers, whether it, going out on face-to-face meetings throughout the off-season, meeting with potential companies that may want to sponsor the team, and then just making calls to fans trying to encourage them to buy tickets.
Wow.
So our job only exists if people are in the seats. So, you guys have seen a few games so far. Some have been good crowds, some have been not so good.
Right.
And our goal is to get as many people here each night. And that's really what allows us to have a job.
I believe you guys did a great job. I mean, this is a small city.
Yeah.
What's the population? 60,000?
Yeah, Everett itself probably the 60 to 80,000 range, something like that. But our main focus is about a 30-mile radius. So we draw from roughly 30 miles around the ballpark. So that'd be North Seattle all the way to to the east, Lake Stevens, to the north up to Bellingham and some of those, Marysville, some of those towns. So while Everett is a small town, it is a big market. The disadvantage of that is there's a lot going on. There's a lot to do. You can get to Seattle very quickly. There's a lot of other entertainment options.
Right.
So for us to try to, we have our little niche, and to try to keep growing is always the challenge. How do we keep people, people that are coming out? We want them coming back for more games, and then how do we get people that may not come out at all to start coming out? And so that's always our challenge in the off season, is to come up with ways to encourage people to come out. We feel pretty confident once they come to a game, they're going to like it and they'll come back. But it's trying to get them out for that first time. With, as you guys have been lucky ever since you've been here, the weather's been beautiful, but we have a limited number of nice days.
Oh, really?
And so when it's nice out, people want to go to the water, or do different things outside, go hiking, go camping, go boating.
Like me.
Yeah, exactly. So we're trying to get them. Hey, don't forget, baseball can be a great summer activity as well.
All right.
So, but that's the challenge. Is there's a lot to do in the area. So we're not the only show in town.
It's tough market.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's also good in the fact that there's a lot of big businesses in the area. So the Boeings and the Tulalip Resort Casino and Safeco, and there's a lot of big headquarters in this area. So that helps us from a corporate sponsorship side of things. They've been very supportive, and the community really gets behind the team. So it's good and bad. It's a tough market, but at the same time, it's a good market because there is a lot of business here and a lot of industries that the employment is. Wasn't affected as drastically in Seattle as it was in some other areas, back in 2009 and 10. So, you find people that, have a little bit of extra income and can, hopefully spend it on Aqua Sox baseball from time to time.
Okay, so you actually talk everything about pros and cons of being running a minor league team at Everett. Can you sum them up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the pros are the Aqua Sox have been here since 1984, and we're kind of a staple in the community. So most people know of the Aqua Sox. We have a very good reputation, amongst the media, amongst the community. And so, as a sales organization, when we're out on meetings or we're making calls, people know who we are. They like to talk to us. Doesn't mean they're always going to buy, but we have a good reputation. I think that's one of the pros. And then, again, just to summarize, I think the con is that we're competing with a lot of other activities in the area, and we've got about typically 70 to 90 nice days of weather per year, and so people want to get outside and take advantage of it, and so sometimes it's a challenge to convince them that the Aqua Sox are where they should spend their free time during the summer.
Feeling comfortable so far?
I'm good, yeah. Ask as many questions as you like. So I like talking about the Aqua Sox and my job, so yeah, it's fun. That's why we're here.
So you're talking about getting the fans in for the first time. Any trick about that?
I don't think we know them. There's not a magic answer. If we knew it, the seats would be packed every night. But a lot of things that we do try are various promotions. So fireworks, giveaway items. This past Saturday night we had the Mike Zunino bobblehead, and we had lines that were blocks long at the gates. We do a lot of different ticket specials, where you can find various discounted ticket offers. So, yesterday we had an appearance by Reggie, who's just a promotional kind of mascot character, really just here to entertain. So to answer your question, there's not a magic way to get people in, but we do try a lot of different promotions, and you try a bunch. Some of them work, some of them don't. But the two that seem to never go away is fireworks and bobbleheads will always attract people. So those are always a couple of our staples. This year we'll have, I believe it's 7 or 8 fireworks shows. That they never seem to get old. Fans always come out for those. So I guess, like I said, to answer your question, I wish I knew the magic answer. I'd place would be packed every night, but it's a matter of trying promotions and seeing which ones work.
Oh well, you guys are doing very well. So.
Yeah, weekends are always very good, and weeknights it's a little more difficult, but team's playing well, and that's helping also.
Mm-hmm. You guys, do you have revenue, or you just self-sufficient?
Yeah, no. So we're a for-profit organization. So we budget to make money every year.
Mm-hmm.
Our revenue sources include ticket sales, sponsorship sales, food and beverage, so concessions,
Mm-hmm.
Merchandise, a little bit from parking revenue. So yeah, we're the expectations on me from our ownership group is that we're going to be profitable every year, and we work to hit our budgeted numbers, and we try to be as creative as we can with developing various revenue streams, just like any other company would. And when certain years, if a certain area is down, we try to make up for it in another area. But we're definitely we're here to provide family-friendly entertainment, but at the same time, we are a business, and we need to make money to pay our employees and to continue.
Yeah. And we're here at the broadcast room. Who do we broadcast to?
Sure. So we're actually in our press box suite right now, which this area we actually sell on a nightly basis to fans and customers. So tonight there will be a company up here. They come out. They get 8 to 10 people up here, and they kind of use it as a party suite. So it's a little unique in the fact that when you sit up here, just across the way here is our actual press box where all the working people are at. So as a group, if you purchase this area, you kind of see some of the ins and outs of what goes on during the game. So across over here we've got our our PA announcer and our music director. Back up on the top is where they run the video board from. On the far end of the booth over here is where the radio broadcasters sit. So all of our games are broadcast live. So our radio announcers are over there. The media that covers the team is also sitting over there. So it's kind of a unique setup in the fact that as a general fan, if you buy this area, you kind of see some of the behind-the-scenes working of the team. So it's been a cool area for us.
Okay. So you guys broadcast online as well?
Yeah, so we're on aquasox.com. Every game is streamed live. And then we broadcast over the radio on Fox Sports, which is Fox Sports 1380 out of Everett.
Cool. But I'm thinking, how many people actually watch the game online? It's a niche market.
Yeah, I don't know specific numbers online. As far as in the ballpark, we average about 3,000 people a night. That can range slightly from a year-to-year basis, but we're right around that 3,000 people a night range. As far as how many listeners and people online, that's tough to gauge. I know where most of our online listeners are coming from is players' families and friends, and people that are
overseas.
Yeah, exactly, overseas or just in other parts of the United States. Our games aren't televised, so if you're a family or a friend of one of these players, that's your option to follow the team is to listen to the radio. So I'm not sure exactly what the numbers would be, but like I said, most of our following would probably be people that have some sort of association with the players.
Then why do you guys do this? Is there revenue from here?
No, on the radio side, we do sell radio advertising. So if you listen to the games, the commercials that play, we're selling that advertising. As far as why we stream them on the internet, I think it's two things. Number one, it's to provide that broadcast to the families and friends of the players. It's a courtesy to them to do that.
Right.
But secondly, it's just another form of branding, another form of marketing. Is who knows? Somebody may log on in South Carolina and he'll learn more about the Aqua Sox by listening to the broadcast. So obviously we're trying to expand our reach as much as possible, and these days, obviously, as you guys know, social media and internet, and that's the way to do it. So streaming our games online is just a natural part of trying to market the team and promote the team, and hopefully make things bigger and better.
Right, totally.
So
how many people are like working on the broadcasting?
our broadcast is that we actually just have one broadcaster, so he calls all 76 games home and away.
Wow.
One person crew. What you'll find in the Northwest League is I believe all 8 of the teams have a one-person radio team. So and that kind of comes back to we're a smaller organization, and we have to be careful on our expenses. And we as you kind of mentioned, there's not a ton of revenue coming from a radio broadcast. It's more as a marketing tool and as a courtesy to the fans. So we have one broadcaster that travels with the team and calls all the games.
And
So
that's one of the 11 staff you have.
correct. Yeah. During the off season, his name's Pat Dillon. Pat helps us sell corporate sponsorships. So he helps us, the outfield billboards that you see out there and the ads and the programs. Pat helps us sell those during the off season, and then during the season, he's the voice of the Aqua Sox. So he's been here for a long time and does a really good job for us.
What about those cameramen down there? They're interns?
You know what? So our video director, I think you guys met Steve when we were up in Vancouver. Steve oversees our video board, and so he hires the camera people. I believe they're college students, but yeah, just contract workers that he hires to help out. But it's a great place, for somebody in that industry to kind of get a start and get a feel for how to film sports. And
Right.
so, the video board's new to us, and we put it in 2009. So we didn't have a video board before that.
Right.
So each year, we've kind of progressively done more and more, and really it's the video board's there to entertain the fans and to make the games entertaining. So
It is. It's very entertaining.
yeah, we try to do all kinds of different features and different promotions and keep the interest of the fans while the game's not actually going on.
Okay. How do you choose the star players on the team and promote them?
That's a really good question. You know what? What's really different about minor league baseball from Major League Baseball is we don't usually promote one specific player because we never know when they're going to potentially move on.
Right.
So you can't. And the other thing is, we won't have our roster until 3 or 4 days before the season starts. So whereas like a major league team, the Mariners can promote Felix Hernandez year-round and put him on all their pocket schedules and all that kind of stuff because they know he's going to be there. For us, we don't have the opportunity to do that. So when we're leading into a season, we're usually promoting kind of the family-friendly, the entertainment aspect of it. The baseball game itself and the players, we don't promote that as much because we don't know who's going to be on the roster. Once the players get here during the season, we'll promote a little bit as far as putting various players, their profiles that we do on the video board or pictures in the programs, things like that. But we're promoting the environment and the entertainment aspect, and it's kind of like, oh, by the way, there's a game going on the side. And like I said, the reason for that is, if we were promoting a guy today, he could get moved tomorrow, and next thing you know, we're scrambling to fill that. So we promote the various activities and promotions and things that go on. And that being said, when we do have star players, we've got a lot of high draft picks on this year's team, and definitely doesn't hurt. We love having the high draft picks. They have a little notoriety and name recognition with them, which helps us ultimately sell tickets. So,
Nice. For example?
yeah, for example, this year we've got Justin Seager, who's the brother of Kyle Seager with the Mariners, so he's got a lot of name recognition. DJ Peterson, who's the first round pick of the Mariners this year, I believe the 12th overall selection, so he's got a lot of notoriety. Out of the University of New Mexico, so out of college. He was just recently this week featured in a Sports Illustrated article, wearing his Aqua Sox
Really?
uniform. So
Good for you.
yeah, absolutely. So that's a huge publication, and it's actually out there now. You guys could pick it up.
All right,
But
I will.
yeah, so DJ's in there. We've got Austin Wilson, who's a second round pick. So those are just 3 examples of names that the true Mariner fan that follows the draft and follows the minor leagues. The higher the draft pick we can get on the team, the better for us. So this year we've been very lucky. The Mariners have been very good to us and sent us some of the higher picks, which never hurts, So it's obviously translated on the field as well. The team's been off to a good start, and these guys have have contributed to that.
Oh yeah. So my personal kind of feeling that we're actually kind of shocked when we came here.
Okay.
And so it's just a short A baseball game and baseball team.
Uh-huh.
And you guys have 3,000 fans on average per night.
Uh-huh.
This is totally crazy.
It's not like that in Taiwan?
No,
Yeah.
not even for pro
Yeah.
games. Like pro games, yeah, maybe you have 5,000.
Really?
Yeah, thanks. So you think it's just America because the baseball's been going on here for?
Yeah, I think, like the saying is that baseball is America's pastime. And, there's 160 minor league teams throughout the United States and Canada. One in Canada, 159 in the United States. And, I think most people in the United States, they may not be baseball fans, but everybody knows baseball. It's been around for so long. And just kind of that tradition of in the summer you go to a baseball game, and there's teams, as a short season team, we're one of the smaller ballparks. Out of those 160, we'd be, kind of probably in the bottom 10% as far as size of the ballpark and whatnot. There's minor league teams, Vancouver, yeah, Vancouver draws, 5,000 people a night. If you go to the so we're single A. If you go to double A and triple A, there's teams, the Dayton Dragons, for example, draw 10,000 people a night, and they've sold out for 15 straight years. There's teams in triple A, Albuquerque and Round Rock, and I mean they're drawing 10, 12, 15,000 people a night. So it's I don't know. I guess like I said, it kind of goes back to that it's America's pastime. People like baseball in this country, and I guess the same can be said for football. Obviously, the NFL is very popular here, and most Americans are into sports in some form or another. So, but I think the tradition of baseball, its roots run hundreds of years back, and it's just I kind of got the tradition that keeps on going.
Alright, cool. I think officially that should be it.
Okay.
And,
Cool.
we're gonna enter the casual time.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
What do you think about the students are doing so far?
You know what? I think they're doing a good job. I haven't actually seen any of the actual the footage or whatnot, but I've seen them at games. You guys are very friendly and very respectful to what we're doing. And I guess from the few times we've talked, seems like you're having a good time and learning, and so they've done a good job.
Cool.
So happy to have you guys here. It helps us, give us a little other perspective on things too. So I'm interested to learn about your guys' culture too. I couldn't imagine being in your shoes, and I know if I went to Taiwan and tried to be in your shoes, I'd be lost. So you guys,
should come.
I should. I know. I was just saying earlier. I mean, all of your English is very good, and it's it's
Really?
impressive. Yeah, I think so.
That's good.
So.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
We want to learn the song. We play.
Everybody clap your hands.
I'll put Katie on that one.
Okay,
She'll
thank
get
you.
the lyrics to that. I think it's called the Cha Cha Slide, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the artist is, but yeah, you know what? That started. Well, shoot, we were doing that. I was in Rancho Cucamonga in 2002 or 2003, and we were doing that then. So it's been around for a long time. So that's your favorite so far?
Yeah, we want to learn how to dance.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Katie. Maybe we'll get you guys out there on the dugout in between
Nice.
innings. Get you.
You guys need to dance.
Yeah, they can lead the dance with our frog squad. So, have you seen the guys and gals in the green shirts? We call them our frog squad, and they're
Okay.
kind of like our promotional team. And we'll get you guys out there to dance with them one of these nights. So.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you guys to ask like one question, and Zishi come here to film. Just need it for the
Sure.
record.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy.
There's
no bad questions.
Yeah, one question. One. Really good.
So in every time they have many kids during a game, they have to choose the kid to play the game. How to pick the children?
How to pick which players play in the game?
Yeah.
So that's when you'll have a chance to talk to Rob next, and that's Rob's decision. So he's the manager, and he makes out what they call the lineup. So each day, he picks, which players he wants to play that day, and so, it's usually based on, who's playing well, and there's a lot of factors that go into it as far as who he thinks will give us the best chance to win the game that night. So he puts together the lineup, 2 or 3 hours before the game, and that's what we go with. So I don't have any input on that other than, we're, like I said, we're here to provide him an environment that is conducive to winning games, and Rob and his staff up there make the decision of who's going to play and who's going to pitch. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, but like I said, at the end of the day, they want to win games, and they also want to develop the players so that they can get better and better and move on. So I think those are some of the factors he looks at when he decides who's going to play that night.
So, is many intern in this file?
Interns?
Yeah.
We've got 6 or 7 interns working for us this summer. So all of them are college students that are, studying some sort of sports management program or a business program, and they need internship credit in order to graduate. So we have them in various areas. We've got a couple that help us in ticketing, a couple that help us in media relations, a couple that help us in marketing and promotions. So we try to bring in 6 or 7 each year. I started as an intern when I first started in baseball. I think it's important for everybody to do an intern. Yeah, I was an intern in Nashville with the Nashville Sounds.
What did you do?
I actually started in concessions, and I had no idea. I had no background in food and beverage at all,
Okay.
but it was just a way to get my foot in the door and
That's
kind of figure out if minor league baseball was something that I wanted to do. And so I did that for my first summer in 2000 or 2001, and just like the environment of minor league baseball, and
Go.
so now into my 13th year of doing that. So so I've always been a proponent of, we have interns, but I never, they're not here to get coffee or to wash cars or whatever. We give them legitimate responsibilities, and you saw Patrick was running through here with some stats or whatever. He's just putting stuff together. We give them legitimate roles where their job's important, and at the same time we're here to help them and to train them. But I always think it's important that that they have they feel part of the organization, and they're not just here to do odd jobs for us. They're here to actually produce, and we've been good. We've had many of our interns have moved on and I've helped them get full-time jobs when they're done, and that's the whole point of the program. So,
Great.
so that's a good question. How about I ask you a question first? What's your favorite part of being here so far? Favorite part of being in the United States and following the Aqua Sox so far?
Oh, I think this field is happier than
Happy, yeah?
one.
Oh, really?
So I like to see the game at America. How do you design the activities in this stadium?
Oh, good. So that's a good question. The promotion, so during the off season, we've got 9 months where there's no games, so we'll have staff meetings, and we'll try to come up with ideas of, it's kind of twofold. We want ideas that will entertain the crowd, and we want ideas that will help sell tickets and bring people to the game. So we kind of collaborate as a staff. We meet weekly throughout the off season. We have what we call marketing meetings, where we just will bounce around ideas and say, hey, does anybody have an idea for a crazy promotion this year, or a crazy giveaway, or something different? And so we'll do that. And then the other thing is, I'll travel to, there's 3 or 4 conferences and meetings in the off season, so we'll travel to those meetings where all the 160 teams meet up. There'll be 2 or 3 representatives from each team, and we get together and we have meetings, and we try to pick the brains of other minor league teams. Hey, what worked for you guys, or what didn't work? And so there's a lot of sharing ideas from the various teams, and I always say that there's nothing wrong with stealing a good idea from another team if it works. Why you don't need to reinvent it. If the Spokane Indians have a great promotion that's helping bring people to the ballpark, we'll try to run the same thing. So we combination of meeting as a staff and then also meeting with people with other teams and just trying to see what's been successful. And sometimes you try a promotion and it doesn't work at all. Lesson learned. You just don't do that one again. But other times you get one that does really well, and you keep it and use it for future seasons. So it's a good question.
you set a goal
Do-
that how many people get into the Aqua Sox and earn how much money?
So set a goal for the company or for the team as far as how many people come and how much money?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that would go back to I have a budgeting process that we start in October of each year for the following year. So in each October we sit down and we put together a budget of what our expectations are as far as number of people in the ballpark, what our goals will be for ticket sales for that year, what our goals will be for sponsorship sales, and etc. So we lay out a pretty extensive budget, and so then those are the expectations that I then provide to our staff, and we work the following months to make those happen. So yeah, we set goals each year. Sometimes we hit them, sometimes we don't. But my boss, who is the owner of the team, their expectation is that we'll hit those goals that we set out.
Yeah. So you need to find a response.
Sponsor.
Yeah. Sponsor.
Yeah. So
yourself or a sponsor will find you.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, we have about 80 sponsors per season, and some of them, spend smaller amounts of money. Some of them spend bigger amounts of money, but we try to treat them all the same, and we try to provide good value for them. We have a lot of fans coming to the game, so as a sponsor, it's good exposure for their company. It's a good organization to be associated with. So, finding new sponsors is always, it's never easy, but that's a big part of our job, is to meet new people and find new people that want to get involved and partner with the team.
So this sponsor all close to the Aqua Sox, or I need to say near the Aqua Sox.
Most of them are fairly local companies, but there's also bigger ones, like Safeco Insurance or Boeing. Those are national or worldwide companies. But most of the sponsors that we work with, they have an office in Seattle, or they work with an advertising agency in Seattle, things like that. So when you look at the outfield wall, all the signs that we sell, a lot of those are really big companies, but they're advertising with us to keep their brand strong in this area. And so if Fred Meyer, for example, is a huge chain store that's all over the Northwest, but they've advertised with us for years because there's 7 or 8 Fred Meyer locations in the area, and so they just want that presence of being involved. And then also for other companies, it may not be advertising as much, it's more of a community support thing. They like to support local companies and local organizations, and so we have some of those as well.
Okay,
So yeah, you're welcome.
During the game and between the inning, there are many active about children. And where you found these children and this active,
How do we choose people for the activities?
Yeah.
So we have
Choose the cute ones.
yeah, absolutely. We have our promotion team, which I mentioned is called the Frog Squad. So you see there's staff that's wearing the green kind of jersey shirts or whatever. We call them the Frog Squad, which the Aqua Sox, our logo being the frog. A lot of people refer to us as the Frogs. So the Frog Squad goes, each night they have a list of which promotions we're going to do in between innings, and then they'll go and select, usually kids to participate. So they kind of go through the stands and just, hey, do you guys want to participate in an on-field promotion tonight? And usually there's plenty of kids that want to participate with us. So it's their job to find those people each night, and then to make the contest or the promotion entertaining and make it funny for the fans, and so that's their responsibility each night. All right, you guys were easy. Not too many hard questions.
You're expecting hard questions?
No. Cool.
Oh,
So do you want to talk to Rob also? Is that right?
Yeah.
Manager?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to just see if he can come over to the same place, or do you want to?
Oh, we want to switch.
You want to switch? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time is it now?
It's about 5 to 1. He's
Okay.
around. I can just call him whenever.
Okay. I think, yeah. Well,
We can.
thank you so much for being
Sure.
in our interview today.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great.
If you need anything else, or if you forgot any questions at any time, happy to help.
Well, actually, I have a request
Sure.
because they're all mass communication major.
Uh huh.
Is it possible to let them follow the media team for maybe 2 days?
Sure.
See how you guys run the media.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. And like,
Yeah. Why don't we pick? Because when we come back, we play 3 games the next time. We can pick a couple of those games, and I'll get you with Katie, and she can kind of. She can have you guys up in the press box during the game and show you what these guys are doing up here. And
great.
I think we come back on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
So maybe like that Tuesday and Wednesday or something like that. But I'll get Katie with you guys, and happy to do that. And you'll also see when you're up here, you'll see Steve and the video board stuff that they're doing up here too. So that would probably be
Awesome.
beneficial.
That would be great. Yeah. You can even maybe let him broadcast one play.
Yeah.
He's our ace anchor.
Okay.
In Taiwan.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I did all the high school games.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we can anchor one play in Chinese.
Yeah. There you go.
See if it
There you
works
go.
or not.
So is your favorite sport baseball, or what's the most popular sport in Taiwan?
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Oh, baseball.
Yeah, basketball.
Gotcha.
He was the player.
Oh, cool. So you think you could play with these guys?
No, I just play in the elementary school.
Oh, okay. So have you guys spent a lot of time with Chin outside of? Have you've been to the host family? I know you said, but
Yeah.
outside of you guys are getting to know him a little bit, or did you already know him before?
Did you already know him before or
Yeah.
You,
know
you,
him
you guys knew him
Yeah.
before.
a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, let me know where you want me to have Rob go, and maybe we could just. Do you want to just go up and set up kind of by outside of his office
Do you
up there?
think is his office messy or is it
No,
kind
it's
of
not.
neat?
Yeah, it's okay. I
Okay.
can ask him if he's okay with that. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. Well, we can go.
Okay, let me see if we can track him down. You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.